Harf. Good evening, the Internet. Tonight I will be reading for your benefit Spoon User 12's flawless literary response to a beloved piece of the great classics of our time, modern literature authored. It received a 93% from his esteemed professor. Title: For Whom the Bell Tolls. Author: Enerst Hemmingway. Setting: For Whom the Bell Tolls is set in the year 1937, over about a 1-week span of time. The actual location, for the most part, is the dusty wilderness of Spain during the Spanish Civil War. The wilderness of Spain is always conveyed as being somewhat harsh or hostile. The forest floor is even described as being sharp and jagged because of the many pine needles. Not just the physical surroundings are harsh, but also the location is, as the characters are at a base camp behind enemy lines. 5 sentences. Main characters: Robert Jordan, an 18-year-old American cadet assisting an anti-fascist guerrilla unit in Spain. He is very committed to his work and is very in touch with nature and his surroundings. Pablo, the leader of the guerrilla unit. He is a very stern and stubborn man in his 40s. He was a revered fighter, but is now sick of the war and has developed a drinking problem. Anselmo, an old, humble guerrilla fighter. In the beginning, he serves as Robert's guide, and in Robert's eyes, he represents everything that is good and worth fighting for about the Spaniards. Maria, a young woman with Pablo's band who falls in love with Robert Jordan. She was a rape victim of the fascists who took over her town. She is always conveyed as a down-to-earth person. Summary: For Whom the Bell Tolls commences during the fire of the Spanish Civil War in Spain. An American man by the name of Robert Jordan enlists in the guerrilla anti-fascist unit in Spain. The guerrilla unit has commanded Robert the dangerous and difficult task of destroying a fascist-controlled bridge as part of a larger guerrilla mission. Robert meets up with his guide Anselmo, who is described as being one with the wilderness with his gray beard and rope shoes. As time passes at the base, Robert Jordan meets Maria, a young girl at the camp, and quickly falls in love with her. Numerous reports of failed battles come to the camp Robert is stationed at. All these reports serve as a demoralization for Robert and his fellow comrades. The day comes for Robert to commence his original plan, blowing up the bridge. As he is doing, more bad news comes in that Ilario, a comrade, has been killed. Robert detonates the explosives and the bridge collapses. As the bridge collapses, debris from the blast hits Anselmo and dies. Robert retreats into the wilderness to escape advancing fascists. Alone with a broken leg and a dead horse, he contemplates suicide, but concludes not to because he finally feels in tune with world. As a fascist approaches Robert readies his rifle. 10 sentences. Theme: In For Whom the Bell Tolls, a great deal of the characters lose their psychological or physical innocence during the time of war. With that, the main theme is a loss of innocence during battle or war. For example, Maria loses her innocence during her town raid when she is raped by the fascist. Joaquin loses his innocence when his parents, and is forced to grow up unnaturally fast. Robert also lost his innocence. Robert initially went to Spain loyal to the Republican cause, feeling confident he was on the right side. But as the war goes on, Robert quickly becomes cynical, and his former idealism quickly diminishes. The biggest loss of innocence was Anselmo's when he is forced to kill. Anselmo is told that killing is something he must do. 9 sentences.